Ladies and gentlemen, hey, if you missed it last night, I'm going to tell you something. You really missed it. UFC, great fights last night. UFC 237 recap. This was the heat of the night. I mean, there were a couple other fights that were okay. I mean, Andrew Silva looks like he tore his ACL, got kicked in the leg. Tore his ACL. He wasn't the favorite to win that fight anyway. Aldo did not show up. I don't know what happened to him. What was the other fight? I mean, really, this was the truth. This was the only big fight of the night for me that had the back and forth that you look for in a UFC fight, and why sometimes I toggle over to UFC versus boxing, because it's an ADD sport. It's immediate. It's quick. The knockouts are quick. And also, like I said, the knockouts are there. There's always going to be something special that happens, either a knockout or a chokeout. Rarely does it go to distance. In this fight, Rose, I'm going to call her Rose Nama. I call her Rosie. I love her style. She had great head move, great boxing coaching. She was dominating the early rounds here, jabbing away, keeping her distance. She was the taller fighter, had the better reach. However, that was it. One bad move knocked her out cold. Jessica Andrade out of Brazil. This fight was in Brazil. Basically was getting hammered the whole fight, jabbing away. I mean, if you talk about great boxing movement, in one freaking mistake, getting inside, good night, holding on, knocked her clean out. Jessica Andrade is now your new champion. It is crazy to see this happen. Look at the face. If you could show Jessica Andrade's face, how she was getting jabbed up. I mean, for Christ's sakes, this 5'1" monster came back up, slammed down Mrs. Rose, and that's the end of the fight. So where do we go from here? Who's up next? I want to see a rematch. I mean, straight up, I got to see a rematch of this fight. I don't think there's anything more satisfying than watching two great female fighters go at it with skill. This was a tale of David versus Goliath, in my opinion, even though David is a bodybuilder and Goliath is a little bit slimmer than expected. If Rose keeps her distance and stays on the outside, you will see a change in this fight, and you will see Rose Nama, I'm not going to pronounce her last name, come back to be the champion of the UFC. But guys, if there's rewind footage available on YouTube, go ahead and check the fight out. This was the next best fight of the night, right along the lines of Hurd and Williams from boxing. Off Work Sports, I'm out. New champion, Jessica Andrade, Albangredo.